Parenting is the hardest job, and there is not a close second. Raising high-performing teen athletes or performers? That's a high-stakes job. I'm Nate Crandall, joined by fellow certified high-performance coach Steve Galley. We coach ambitious parents like you, and also your high-performing teens, because when you both level up, connection and results don't just improve, they multiply. Welcome to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast. We have some burning questions for you.
Coach Crandall, great to see you.
Great to be seen. Great to be with you here.
I have some burning questions for you and for our parents,
Can't wait.
I do want to send out just a brief message to our long-term listeners and any new listeners. We are going to condense our episodes, and the reason why, we want to deliver high-quality content. We want to get right to the point, and we know you are super busy. You are crazy busy. So there's no sense bloviating and going down rabbit holes. We're going to get right to it. And we are creating so much. We're combining efforts to coach teens, where up till this point, our venture together has been coaching high-achieving parents. We're adding teens into the mix. Very exciting.
Yes, sir.
You ready for the question?
Oh, boy.
Here you go. Are you starting to realize that your old playbook isn't working with your teen anymore?
I love that moment as a parent personally, and just
you love that moment?
I love that moment.
Oh,
Because
I think that's a squirmy, fidgety moment.
It can be. It's the hardest job. But here's what great parents do. As soon as they realize that, the playbook's actually completely moo already. Because once you realize it, you're lagging behind. And so as soon as you realize it, don't feel bad. Take action.
Did you say moot?
Moo. It's like a cow's opinion. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought I was going to have to describe the difference between moot and mute, which funny story, but that's for a later time. So it's moo.
Yeah, it's moo. Ask Joey Tribbiani from Friends. It's great.
Oh,
but that's the problem that we hit as parents. And I love that moment because it's like, okay, I have to adjust and adapt. And as the adult, we can do that better than they can. We can get out ahead of this, and we can really help them by just saying, okay, old playbook's gone. We got to go with a new one.
Okay, so give me an example of the old playbook.
Well, the old playbook is when they're 8 years old and you're trying to get them to do something and they don't do it, and you send them to their room. Or you can hit them with like that quick little punishment. And because of the power differential, and when you're kids, you can do that. But as they start to get a little bit older, they need the why, they need other things. But that old playbook doesn't work. You can't parent a 7-year-old the same way you do a 15-year-old.
So are you saying the timeout corner and sending them to the room is
that's
not
one of those
path?
things.
That's not the path to a D1 scholarship?
It's probably not. Like I've never seen or heard of a parent yelling and punishing or even rewarding their kid into a D1 scholarship.
So is this what happens when you have a kid sometime that maybe you're really good athlete? Let's take a quarterback. Quarterbacks always are the center of attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback that is getting private lessons. He's that good. You want to level up with some coaching, so you go with some specialized coaching. And then all of a sudden, he's starting to fake stomach aches. I'm using that example because
I've heard of that.
I've never done that, Nate. I never used that strategy, but never to miss practice though. I like going to practice. But what if your son, who is this terrific athlete, is all of a sudden trying to get out of practice?
Well, and this is the biggest shift in the whole playbook thing is this has to be more about the relationship you have with them. You have to have established a relationship where they can be honest with you about things. It's evaluating how your expectations might be impacting them. It's knowing what your expectations of your teens are. Because if I'm paying that much money for quarterback training, but I don't fully understand the purpose behind it for me, then I can't look at it and understand the pressure or the perception that my teen might have of that same thing.
Well, I'm going to throw a question at you. What do you think the purpose should be behind the quarterback lessons, the quarterback coaching?
I could only answer that for like me in that situation.
Yeah,
because
I'm saying answer it for you.
It depends on which one of my kids.
Well, you had a kid that played college golf.
That's true. And, similar situation. There's a lot of lessons that go into that. There's a lot of really expensive equipment that goes into that. And many of our conversations were, and we had a good relationship. He was able to be pretty honest with me about things. And he shared several times that he felt a lot of pressure from that, a lot of obligation to go out and do that. Took some of the fun out of playing the game for him, which made it hard to compete at the level that he wanted to because of that. But as we had those conversations, we were able to work through that. But my part in that was I didn't ever make that with the intent of him playing college golf. That wasn't why I was doing that. I just wanted him to continue to play the game that he enjoyed. And on looking back, I probably could have communicated that better on the front end. This is why I am doing this.
And that's actually why we're doing this, because we've made every mistake in the book.
Yes,
both with our kids and both with our basketball teams over the years. As high school coaches
combined, we're over 60 years of coaching experience, and then you throw parenting experience on top of that. And
I don't think we look that old.
I hope we don't look that old.
I hope we don't look that old.
We do have that much experience, and like you said, we've made so many mistakes, but that's how you learn.
All right, Nate, let's get to some practical tips for the parents.
Great idea. Ooh, you want me to do it? Cool.
Yeah, I do want you to do it.
So one of the things that we talk about is we're working with everybody that we get to work with. All progress starts with a truth. If you're coming to the realization that, oh man, my playbook does not work anymore, the first thing you got to do is get to the truth. And when you're dealing with that relationship with your teen, you got to assess the relationship. What's the state of that relationship right now? Good, bad, ugly, what works, what doesn't, what do they like, what do I like, what do we need to do? Get feedback from the outside. Ask your spouse, ask grandma and grandpa, have a conversation with your personal coach who can kind of act as your externalized prefrontal cortex and help you assess the relationship you have with each one of your kids. But if you're going to make some changes, you have to know where you're starting from.
Love it. I've got another one. If you want to jump right in with something actionable with your teen, you could do this for one day. You could do this for a couple of days. You could do it for a week.
You could do it with one conversation.
You could do it with one conversation. Stop giving advice. Just ask questions. Tell me why we believe in this process so much. Asking questions.
One of the best playbook shifts to ever make with your kids is the shift to I'm coaching them and helping them to grow, helping them develop the ability to think and process. And when we ask questions, we're acting as that guide that helps them learn how to think. My questions invite them to think more, and it helps them develop a sense of autonomy. It's very, very self-determination theory, but that autonomy is critical for their growth and their best future self. And when I ask questions, I'm empowering them, not putting the handcuffs on them. So asking those questions is a critical piece to the playbook shift that you make from when they're younger to when they're teen.
Love it. In fact, you just described much of what we have in what we call the question-only conversation, the QOC tool. I'm going to throw that link in the comments. It's a free tool, 100% free. Get it, use it, parents. It's incredible. And before we sign off, Nate, I want to encourage all of our listeners to subscribe to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast channel on YouTube.
Absolutely. Parents, you're doing a terrific job. Keep working and then keep pushing yourself to elevate. You're a high performer and we admire the heck out of you. We're grateful to be a part of your journey.
Nate Crandall and Steve Galley would like to thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you love what you're experiencing and learning from the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast, please like, comment, and or leave a glowing review of this episode and the show. And to further help Nate and Steve expand their reach and impact thousands of parents, athletes, and performers, please share the show and subscribe to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast channel on YouTube. And if you want to explore further to see what Nate and Steve are creating to help parents of athletes and performers everywhere, please visit their website at createtransformbecome.com. That's createtransformbecome, all one word, .com. There you will find a growing number of tools and resources to help you elevate your parenting. Thanks again for tuning in. Now go create a magical relationship with your athlete or performer.